great opportunity to get our team together, particularly the track athletes, the distance kids, the cross-country kids, obviously get opportunities to compete in uniform during the fall. And for the rest of the team, it's, you know, metal to the grind the whole time. It's they're working out. They don't get to put on the uniform. They don't get to compete. So this past Saturday was a great opportunity for a lot of our kids to put on the uniform for the first time, especially our young kids, run off the cobwebs, get out there and compete. And in saying that, we did have some excellent performances across the board on both the men's and women's side. On the women's side, Bonky O'Guinea had absolutely outstanding first meet through 66 feet 8 inches in the weight throw. Right now, that's ranked number 8 in the nation, and it's number 1 in the Big Ten. Hayley Showalter had a PR in the shot put, threw over 60 feet for the first time. Kennedy Blahnik also had a great meet in the shot put, a PR 51.10. Ebony McClendon in the sprints, and then a couple of the distance kids did well from 800 meters up. Brenna Detra also in the sprints in the 400 meters set a PR on our track, and to run that fast, 56 seconds on a flat 200 meter track is difficult. But yeah, so overall the women had a good meet, good first time out. And the same on the men's side. Riley Booty really stepped up big time, the number 2 weight throw in the country, number 2 all time on our list. And Ryan Davis that had a good 400 meter run. Got some good middle distance events, but you know, stepping up this weekend is going to be a completely different event. A dual meet against Minnesota, our arch rivals. I don't think, no matter what sport we're talking about here at UW, you know, when you go against Minnesota, it's a hometown rivalry. We get excited about it. The kids get excited. The coaches are going crazy already, and it's only Monday, and we still have 5 days to go. So, goal on Saturday is to stuff the shell. It's something that we started last year, and just like women's hockey last Saturday, we want to pack the stadium, get a lot of our fans, parents out there going crazy and cheering on the Badgers. So we're looking forward to that. It's a completely different format than a lot of the meets that we compete in during the year. A 2.5-hour meet, so it's not one of these all-day invitationals that we're so used to competing in.
Mick, how does having everything compressed into that short amount of time affect your athletes when they're used to, you know, maybe something more spread out? Does that get them a little more focused in? How does that do it?
Absolutely. You know, it's a trend now in our sport. You go to national championships outdoors, even indoors, 2-hour meets. It's much more exciting for the fans. The kids love it. You know exactly what they have to do. They know exact time of their competition, unlike some of these big invitations that we go to, and a lot of times the schedule falls behind. You know, with that short 2-hour window, it's fantastic. The kids absolutely embrace it. It's head-to-head competition. We talk all the time about it doesn't matter about times, distances, heights. They go out the window in an event like this. It's you know, ultimately it's about what our sport is all about, and that's beating the other person. And for too long, I think, in our sport, we spend too much time just worrying and thinking about times, distance, heights, and you know, I think the kids have forgotten how to compete. This is about competition. It's about beating your in this case, Minnesota, and I think the kids certainly embrace that. They're all excited. We had a team meeting this morning and team photo, and they're all excited about it. There's competition within the team to compete on Saturday, and that's exciting. That's always good for the bottom line.
So So you're going to have a moment of silence for Steve Barr. You know, officials get overlooked in all sports, but he did a lot for this sport, didn't he?
Absolutely. You know, Steve has been working with us now for almost 25, 30 years, and it's going to be a big loss. On Saturday, we felt his presence, but he wasn't there, obviously, and you know, I think it took a little bit of effect on some of the other officials. You look around and you expect to see Steve there. He was a great friend, personal friend, and he was also a great friend of the Badger family, and indeed all of Wisconsin high school and collegiate track and field.
Obviously, it's early. Do you know what you have with this squad, men's and women's, when you kind of look at the big picture, or how long does it take for you to really formulate what you might have?
I mean, you can, after one meet, it's very difficult. We're looking at the Big Ten list today, for example, and when you go down through it and you see, you know, other performances from our competition, other Big Ten schools, and we were just on the distance and mid-distance side talking about it this morning, and you can go, wow, look at some of these performances already. And when you take into consideration that our top kids are going to be going and competing all the way through June, you can very easily get caught up in that, okay, this is January. And on Saturday, the message to a lot of our top kids was, hey, it's January 14th. You know, they're just competing, they're getting their legs under them after months of training. And in some cases, you know, a lot of our kids did not compete this past Saturday. So you can get carried away with what you see on paper, but we're still 5 weeks away from the Big Ten. And when we get our big guns out there competing over the next couple of weeks, and that's what will happen, we won't hold back this weekend. Everybody's competing. It's all hands on deck. It's important. This competition is important for me. We got together with Minnesota 3 years ago, and this is something that I believe in. I believe in it for our sport and for our program. So let's not get too carried away too early and look at where we're at in January, you know, the first couple of weeks in January, and we'll just get better and better. That's the goal, to be better and better as the weeks go along.
You had mentioned that obviously the Shell has a flat track. What would the advantage to your program be to have a facility that had a banked track? And do you foresee that at some point down the road here?
Yeah, a couple of years ago, we had some plans already set, and we were moving forward in that direction. And then, obviously, with the master plan on campus, got stalled a little bit here. And now with the, you know, again, that master plan, our athletic facilities have to fit in with that whole plan. And we kind of going to slow down here for a little bit. I know it's down the road. We're hoping that this is going to happen in the next couple of years once the surf gets redone. We're offline for a little bit here because of the overflow that the Shell's going to. Rec sports are going to need that for the overflow from once the Shell gets or the surf gets blown up in the next year or so. So it's going to be a huge advantage. Certainly, there's a lot of Big Ten schools. Michigan are building a new facility right now. Iowa just put in a brand new facility. We're hoping to have the Big Ten meet moved back onto institutions, campuses. So I'm very much in favor of that. It was, historically, and Coach Nuttycombe would certainly speak to it, that there's a huge advantage to having a meet like the Big Ten on a college campus. But the trend is we're going to move back onto the college campuses. We certainly don't have a facility to host the Big Ten, but I know from conversations with senior staff that's in the pipeline.
Sara Chinga wasn't able to compete last year in track and field. I know she returned, I believe, in cross country and performed pretty well. What does she bring? I mean, 2 years ago, she had a heck of a season indoor-wise specifically, didn't she?
Yeah. A healthy Sara is one of the best distance runners in the She's made steady progress since cross country. and we're looking forward. She will run this weekend. We're looking forward to the huge contribution that she potentially can give the program, certainly over 3K and 5K when we get to the Big Ten level and hopefully the national level. She's that good. She's healthy. She's been healthy through cross country. So yes, we're very excited about having Sara back in the fold.
Anything else for Mick? All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mick.